Solidus.
Solidus.
Soliloquy.
Soliloquy.
Solipsism.
Solipsism.
Solipsistic.
Solipsistic.
Solitaire.
Solitaire.
A diamond solitaire.
Solitary.
Solitary.
The solitary goal of the match.
The benches were empty, except for a single solitary figure.
A long solitary walk. A solitary man.
Pandas are solitary creatures.
He led a rather solitary existence. He followed her round without a solitary word.
He spent 2 weeks in solitary.
Solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement.
He spent more than half his time in prison in solitary confinement.
Solitude.
Solitude.
Carl spent the morning in solitude.
The solitude of her house on the lake.
Solo.
Solo.
A gorgeous piano solo.
His first solo.
Ridgway's solo voyage across the Atlantic. First solo ascent of Everest.
A solo effort.
A solo album.
A solo passage for viola.
When did you first fly solo? Amos quit the company, determined to go solo. Brokaw solos brilliantly on this album.
Soloist.
Soloist.
Cello soloist Yo-Yo Ma.
Solomon.
Solomon.
The chairman of the peace talks is going to need the wisdom of Solomon. Solstice.
Solstice.
Soluble.
Soluble.
Soluble aspirin.
Solution.
Solution.
The best solution would be for them to separate.
There are no simple solutions to the problem of overpopulation.
The solution to last week's puzzle is on page 12.
A weak sugar solution.
Saline solution.
Solvent.
Solve.
Solve.
Charlie thinks money will solve all his problems.
The best way of solving our dilemma. More than 70% of murder cases were solved last year.
Attempts to solve a mathematical equation.
Solvent.
Solvent.
I don't know how we managed to remain solvent. Solvent abuse.
Solvent abuse.
Sombre.
Somber.
They sat in sombre silence.
We were all in a somber mood that night.
A sombre expression. On the sombre occasion of his mother's funeral. A sombre grey suit.
Sombrero.
Sombrero.
Some.
Some.
I need some apples for this recipe. My mother has inherited some land. They're looking for someone with some experience. The doctor gave her some medicine for her cough.
Some people believe in life after death.
She's been so depressed that some days she can't get out of bed.
It was some time before they managed to turn the alarm off.
The donation went some way toward paying for the damage.
There must be some reason for her behaviour. Can you give me some idea of the cost? We can hopefully reach some kind of agreement.
Some guy called for you while you were gone.
Just give him some excuse or other.
That was some party last night.
You won't lend me the money? Some friend you are.
I've just made a pot of coffee. Would you like some? Do you know where the screws are? There are some in the garage.
Many local businesses are having difficulties, and some have even gone bankrupt. Some say it was an accident, but I don't believe it. Many of the exhibits were damaged in the fire, and some were totally destroyed.
Some of his jokes were very rude.
Can I have some of your cake?
They say he earns $2.5 million a season. And then some.
Would you like some more cake?
Are you feeling better today? Some, I guess.
She gained some 25 pounds in weight during pregnancy.
We traveled some little way before noticing that Bradley wasn't with us.
Some.
A troublesome boy.
A bothersome back injury.
A golf foursome.
Somebody.
Somebody.
There's somebody waiting to see you.
Somebody's car alarm kept me awake all night.
We need somebody neutral to sort this out.
If you can't make it Friday, we can invite somebody else. Who can we get to babysit? I'll call Susie or somebody.
She was the first teacher who'd made Paul feel like he was somebody.
Someday.
Someday.
I'd like to visit Japan someday.
He hopes someday to have his own business.
Somehow.
Somehow.
Don't worry, we'll get the money back somehow. Somehow I managed to lose my keys.
Maybe we could glue it together somehow or other. Somehow, I just don't think it'll work. Someone.
Someone.
What would you do if someone tried to rob you in the street?
Will someone please explain what's going on?
When are you planning to hire someone? As soon as we find someone suitable. Can you ask someone else to help you? I'm really busy.
Have Brooks or someone fax this to New York right away.
Gerber was determined to be someone.
Someplace.
Someplace.
I must have left my jacket someplace. Somersault.
Somersault.
Lana turned a somersault in mid-air. He crashed into the table, somersaulted over it, and landed on the carpet.
Something.
Something.
There's something in my eye.
Sarah said something about coming over later.
It's a good car, but I'm looking for something newer.
The house was too small, so they decided to look for something else. I think there's something wrong with the phone.
I don't know what he does exactly, but I know it has something to do with computers. Would you like something to drink?
I should take something to read on the plane.
Don't just stand there. Do something.
Can you do something about that noise? There was something rather odd about him.
There's something about her voice that I find really sexy.
Her name was Judith or Julie or something.
Here's some money. Get yourself a sandwich or something.
Something like 50,000 homes are without power.
Running your own company at 21 is really something.
That was really something, wasn't it? You really are something else.
They had to concede that there was something in his teaching methods.
Do you think there's something to the rumours about Larry and Sue?
It was clear that Jenkins had something of his father's brilliance.
Charlie's always been something of an expert on architecture.
The news came as something of a surprise.
I got you a little something for your birthday. How much did you spend on groceries? 120-something.
At least we have some money left. That's something, isn't it?
Sometime.
Sometime.
We'll take a vacation sometime in September.
Our house was built sometime around 1900.
Sir Richard Marsh, the sometime chairman of British Rail.
Grim, a sometime delivery driver, lives with his elderly mother.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I sometimes have to work late.
Sometimes Grandma would tell us stories about her childhood in Italy. Do you ever wish you were back in Japan? Sometimes. Not very often.
The journey takes an hour, sometimes even longer.
Someway.
Somewhere.
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 My wallet must be around here somewhere.
There must be somewhere to eat cheaply in this town.
Is there somewhere safe where I can leave my bike?
Go and play somewhere else. I'm trying to work. We could meet for dinner at Giorgio's or somewhere.
We have somewhere in the region of 500 firefighters in this area.
At last I feel we're getting somewhere.
Somnambulist.
Somnambulist.
Somnolent.
Somnolent.
He lay quiet,
somnolent after the day's exertions. A somnolent summer's afternoon.
Son.
Son.
Her son Sean was born in 1983.
They have 3 sons and a daughter.
In those days, the property went to the eldest son.
Their youngest son, George, the son of a poor farmer.
What's your name, son?
Frank Sinatra, New Jersey's most famous son.
Sonar. Sonar.
Sonata.
Sonata.
A piano sonata.
Sonne lumière.
Sonne lumière.
Song.
Song.
We used to listen to pop songs on the radio. They sat round with guitars singing songs. The bravery of past warriors was celebrated in song. The Song of the Lark.
He bought the house for a song 5 years ago.
Susie was there making a song and dance about her aching feet. She gave us a long song and dance about why she was late.
Songbird. Songbird.
Songbook.
Songbook. Songster. Songster.
Songstress.
Songstress.
Songwriter.
Songwriter.
Songwriting.
Songwriting.
There's some excellent songwriting on this album.
Sonic.
Sonic.
Sonic boom.
Sonic boom.
Son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
Sonnet.
Sonnet.
Shakespeare's sonnets.
Sunny. Sunny.
Now you listen to me, Sonny.
Sunny Jim.
Sonny Jim.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a gun.
Son of a gun.
Duke, you old son of a gun, how are you? Somebody go tell that son of a gun we're all waiting here. Son of God.
Son of God.
Sonogram.
Sonogram.
Sonorous.
Sonorous.
A sonorous voice.
Soon. Soon.
It will be dark soon. David arrived sooner than I expected.
Paula became pregnant soon after they were married.
Who? You'll find out soon enough.
How soon can you finish the report?
Try and get the car fixed as soon as possible.
As soon as she entered the room, she knew there was something wrong.
I'll come over to your place as soon as I can.
The sooner we get this job finished, the better.
Let's get out of here. The sooner the better.
The sooner I get this work done, the sooner I can go home.
No sooner had he sat down than the phone rang. His wife's bound to find out sooner or later.
It's still too soon to say whether the operation was a success.
The holidays were over all too soon.
The doctor's here, and not a moment too soon.
I'd sooner die than marry you.
I'd just as soon you didn't drive the car while I'm gone.
Soot.
Soot.
Soothe.
Soothe.
Lucy soothed the baby by rocking it in her arms.
She made a cup of tea to soothe her nerves.
I bought some lozenges to soothe my sore throat.
Massage can gently soothe away your aches and pains. Gentle, soothing music.
Soothsayer. Soothsayer. Sop. Sop.
The company agreed to inspect the river regularly as a sop to the environmental lobby.
Sophisticate.
Sophisticate.
Sophisticated.
Sophisticated.
A sophisticated, witty American.
Clarissa's hair was swept up into a sophisticated style. Sophisticated software.
A highly sophisticated weapons system.
British voters have become much more sophisticated.
A New York nightclub that was the height of sophistication.
Sophistry. Sophistry. Sophomore. Sophomore.
Sophomoric.
Sophomoric.
Sophomoric humor. Soporific.
Soporific.
His voice had an almost soporific effect.
Sopping.
Sopping.
Soppy.
Soppy.
A soppy film. She's soppy about dogs.
Soprano.
Soprano.
She sings soprano.
Sorbet.
Sorbet.
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Sorceress.
Sorceress.
Sorcery.
Sorcery.
Sordid.
Sordid.
The whole sordid affair came out in the press.
She discovered the truth about his sordid past. I want to hear all the sordid details. A sordid little room.
Saw. Saw.
Saw.
I had a sore throat and aching limbs.
My arms are sore from all the lifting.
Just don't mention it. It's always been a sore point with him.
Mac's still sore because I didn't invite him.
Don't be sore at me. I just forgot to tell you.
Inner city schools are in sore need of extra funds.
Nobody likes a sore loser. You stick out like a sore thumb in that uniform.
They were starving and covered with sores.
Sorehead.
Sorehead.
Sorely.
Sorely.
Jim will be sorely missed. Sabine was sorely tempted to throw her drink in his face.
Your help is sorely needed.
Courage is a quality that is sorely lacking in world leaders today.
Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Sorority.
Sorority.
Sorrel.
Sorrel.
Sorrow.
Sorrow.
A time of great sorrow.
He expressed his sorrow at my father's death.
Claudia felt a deep pang of sorrow for the woman.
The family's joys and sorrows.
He said that his decision to resign was made more in sorrow than in anger.
Her friend was sorrowing over the loss of a child.
Sorrowing parents.
Sorrowful.
Sorrowful.
A sorrowful expression.
A lot of damage has already been done, he said sorrowfully.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Matt, stop doing that. Sorry. I'm sorry. Did I step on your foot?
I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic was terrible.
Sorry about the mess. I'll clean it up.
I'm sorry for making such a fuss.
Sorry to bother you, but what was the address again?
I'm sorry, but all the flights to Athens are fully booked.
Turn right. Sorry, left, at the traffic lights.
Are you coming to lunch? Sorry, no, I've got to finish this work.
I'll give you $50 for it. Sorry, no deal.
I'm sorry, but I find that very hard to believe, Miss Brannigan.
She was genuinely sorry for what she had done.
Casey was sorry he'd gotten so angry.
It was probably too late to say sorry, but she would try anyway.
Sorry, what was that again? Want a drink? Sorry? I said, would you like a drink?
I've got no sympathy for him, but I feel sorry for his wife.
Tina was sorry for her. She seemed so lonely. It's no good feeling sorry for yourself. It's all your own fault.
Bridget was always sorry she hadn't kept up her piano lessons.
We were sorry to miss your concert. I won't be sorry to leave this place.
I was sorry to hear about your accident.
I'm so sorry about your father.
You'll be sorry when your dad hears about this. I wrote several times, but they never replied, I'm sorry to say.
The sorry state of the environment.
It's a sorry state of affairs when an old lady has to wait 12 hours to see a doctor.
The sorry sight of so many dead animals.
This whole sorry episode shows just how incompetent the government has become.
Sort.
Sort.
What sort of shampoo do you use?
I like all sorts of food. I'm not fussy.
On expeditions of this sort, you have to be prepared for trouble. He wondered if Rosa was in some sort of trouble.
There was a game of some sort going on inside. Most of the victims developed psychological problems of one sort or another. They do burgers, pizzas, that sort of thing.
I sort of like him, but I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? Sort of. Then they started sort of chanting. The walls are a sort of greeny-blue colour. It was sort of like really strange and mysterious walking round this empty building. Well, it was sort of a shock. Well, I sort of thought we could go out together sometime. It was sort of a shock when I found out. That's the sort of price I was hoping to pay. What sort of time were you thinking of starting?
I had a conversation of sorts with a very drunk man at the bus stop.
We could just stay here and pass the time sort of thing. She uses a wheelchair sort of thing. What sort of time do you call this to come in? I'm going to watch TV. You'll do nothing of the sort.
Ian's never even looked at another woman. He's not the sort.
He goes climbing up cliffs without ropes or anything. Oh, well, it takes all sorts. Louise went back to work feeling rather out of sorts.
The eggs are sorted according to size.
Let's sort all the clothes into piles. All the names on the list have been sorted into alphabetical order.
Right, I'll leave this for Roger and Terry to sort then.
We need to sort out our camping gear before we go away.
I've sorted out the papers that can be thrown away.
First, sort the white things out from the other clothes.
She went to a psychiatrist to try to sort out her problems. I'll be glad to get this misunderstanding sorted out. I'm staying with a friend until I manage to sort myself out. Have you sorted out where you're going to live yet? She is trying to sort out childcare. Our financial problems should sort themselves out in a week or two. If he bothers you again, I'll sort him out.
Vicky sat down and sorted through the files.
Sorted.
Sorted.
Good, that's the accommodation sorted. Calm down, it's all sorted. I just want to get everything sorted before I go away. Can I get you anything? We're sorted, thanks. Are we sorted for alcohol for tonight?
Sortie.
Sortie.
The U.S. and its allies carried out 44,000 sorties during this period.
We made a sortie from our hotel to the open-air market.
Australia's first sortie into the wine trade.
Sorting office.
Sorting office.
Sort out.
Sort out.
These cupboards need a good sort out.
SOS.
SOS.
This is an SOS for a Mr. Tucker, whose mother is seriously ill. So-so.
So-so.
How was the party? Oh, so-so. Sot.
Sot.
Sotto voce.
Sotto voce.
No, it was Daniel, she continued, sotto voce. Sue.
Sue.
He didn't have a sou.
Sobriquet.
Sobriquet.
Soufflé.
Soufflé.
Sort.
Sought.
Sought after.
Sought after.
A much sought-after defense lawyer.
By the mid-1920s, she had become one of Broadway's most sought-after actresses.
Souk.
Souk.
Soul.
Soul.
The immortality of the soul.
It was as if those grey eyes could see into the very depths of her soul.
The restlessness deep in his soul.
The souls of the dead.
He is really quite a sensitive soul.
I promise I won't tell a soul.
The night was dark and still, and there was not a soul in sight.
The poor old soul had fallen and broken her hip.
He listens to a lot of soul.
A soul band.
My brother thinks that anyone who doesn't like poetry has no soul. Her performance was technically perfect, but it lacked soul.
Basho's poems capture the true soul of old Japan. Leon is the very soul of discretion.
They say that hardship is good for the soul. My father, God rest his soul, died here at Vernison Hall.
A village of 200 or 300 souls.